Do you remember what was the company's situation before working with WorldTeams and after? Like, what were the challenges and what prevented you from overcoming them? And how do you feel that this improved with WorldTeams?
Prior to working with any of the World Team staff, we had a very difficult time finding local help. We are a Maryland-based office, and we tried to have everyone we could in the office working, kind of the standard architectural firm, everyone in a bullpen, everyone here in one building. We have a couple people that were working remote, and that was successful. And because of seeing the successes in that, we decided we were comfortable branching out to more remote work. We tried starting with hiring within the U.S., and the workforce was just not there or was not capable enough for us. So we heard of WorldTeams. We reached out, started with one member from their company, was very successful, really helped pick up the speed of the office. The person came on board and was able to kind of understand our models, our prototypes, and really dive right in. After seeing how successful that one individual was, we expanded from there. And at this point, we have 5 different employees from WorldTeams, some in manager positions, some in just drafting positions. All of them happy to move up the ladder and try to become managers and even working into other software. So been very happy, very successful since WorldTeams has come on board, and it has allowed us to increase our workload by at least double.
How did you hear from us? Do you remember?
I can't remember if we just got an email or if it was one of those, like someone actually reached out and called us, but it was one of those that it wasn't me. It was our principal, Joe Kelly, tapped me and said, "Hey, we're not finding anyone locally. We can't find anyone to come into the office and work. Let's give this a shot." And we started with one person and have grown from there. And it was very, very happy circumstance to get this relationship started.
And Jason, why would you say you choose WorldTeams? What would you recommend to other firms or businesses facing the same challenges you were facing? Would you recommend us, and why exactly would that be?
WorldTeams to me is, trying to think of how to say this properly. Hang on a second. I feel the communication with WorldTeams has been very successful. Right up front, there was concerns about working with a company that was not based in the United States and what hurdles that might be. There were concerns about language barriers, software, obviously us being not metric and a lot of the rest of the world being metric. They're trained, they're used to those type of systems, which sometimes work in the US. That's a very big hurdle for them to overcome. We didn't see any of that with WorldTeams. We saw that communication was very easy. The language barrier was not there. In fact, the language has been a help in a lot of ways to have individuals that are dual language. I've just been very happy with it. That's it's hard to kind of summarize because everything that we've tried, every time I've gotten nervous about how this relationship is going to work, how hard the training is going to be, any concerns I've even had about training, I've expressed to your team, and they've generally talked to the individuals that we've hired directly on the side and kind of prepped them for whatever we needed. If we had some negative feedback at any point, it seemed like the WorldTeams managers stepped in and would talk to that person on the side, would give them some additional training. It didn't cost our company any time and effort for those additional training sessions. So that was something that we didn't see. If an employee needed something, we weren't having to help them in some of those areas. It was WorldTeams corporate that was stepping in to help, and that took the burden off of us as a company, and that was very huge. Additionally, with WorldTeams providing the software, making sure they have the technology, it allows us to be able to comfortably bring that new staff on board and know that we're not having to get our IT company involved. We're not having to set up software and accounts. It really is just, here's the project, here's what we need, and most of them are able to just start and get going right away on day one.
Yes. Our mentorship program is something we are really proud of. So happy to hear that it's helpful and it's so crucial and important in the process. And yes, communication is definitely the key. I couldn't agree more. So Thank you. So you would feel comfortable to recommend to other firms to work with us?
Absolutely. I feel very comfortable recommending other firms work with WorldTeams. I have seen nothing but success. It has not in any way made us step backwards as a company. It's only helped to move our company forwards. It's only allowed us to bring on more work, which therefore allows us to bring on more staff. And that's why we went from 1 WorldTeams member to 5. And hopefully by the end of this year, we're going to increase those numbers even more.
Okay, great to hear. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
As far as the software goes, we kind of set up front if we needed someone for CAD, if we needed someone for Revit. We are a hybrid office, so we have both CAD and Revit operators. I've been very happy that every person at WorldTeams, if we hired them in a Revit position or if we hired them in a CAD position, have said they are happy to learn the other software so that they are able to hop between projects, because we do have certain brands and certain clients where everything from that client is going to be in Revit. And if these employees are only doing CAD, they might not ever get exposed to that brand. But in the case of WorldTeams, every single employee has come to me and said, if I don't know it, I'm happy to get trained on it, or I actually am already learning it on the side, so that way when you need me to switch from CAD to Revit, I'm capable of doing that. That's not something I've seen for most of the other employees in the States that we've hired, where if I hire them as CAD, they only want to do CAD. If I hire them as Revit, they refuse to learn CAD. The WorldTeams employees have been very flexible and very understanding that business changes, the expectations change, and they're happy to adjust for it. It's just, again, the workforce is very pleasant, very respectful, very appreciative of everything that we do. And I don't always see that in other companies, but I've not seen anything else but excellence from WorldTeams. They really are a fantastic group of people.